I'm Tim Bradner. Welcome to Capitol Views. We're here today with newly elected Senator Rob Myers from North Pole, east of Fairbanks. Welcome to Capitol Views, Rob.
Thanks, Tim. Good to see you.
Yeah, Rob, I understand you're a Fairbanks boy. You're raised in Fairbanks and went to UAF, and you spent your career since graduation there. And you work in the transportation industry right now. Maybe just tell us a little bit about what you do outside of, you're in the legislature now, but what you do in making a living.
Yeah, so I've been a commercial driver for a while now. Initially, I got into that while I was in college, driving tour bus. And once I finished college, I converted that over to a commercial truck driving license. And so I've been driving truck now for almost a dozen years. And the last couple of years especially, I've been spending most of my time up on the haul road, serving the oil industry. But at various points, I end up all over the state in Anchorage, Valdez, Kenai, down to Haines every now and then. A couple of years ago, I did a couple of trips down to Stewart, BC, and that was a beautiful drive. Fairbanks is my home. Alaska is my home. As far as I'm concerned, that's where they're going to plant me in the ground. Hopefully a long way off.
Well, Rob, what, the trucking industry, and particularly the truckers that operate up what we call the haul road, the Dalton Highway, officially to the North Slope oil fields, have been hit pretty hard. Are things recovering now? I mean, you've driven it fairly often. Do you have a sense of how many trucks you pass and how things are going?
Yeah, I've got a general idea. I'd say things are getting better. It's not back to where it was. I'd say this time a year ago, in the course of a normal day, I'd pass maybe 40 trucks going the other direction. It really hit a low point around last May, and some of that's because May is kind of a seasonal transition time. But of course, that's when COVID was hitting really hard too, and a lot of the shutdowns and everything. So at one point in May, on one day, I counted 8 trucks going the other way, and that's when I looked at it and I said, "Oh, this is not a good situation." It's rebounded since then some. By the end of the summer, it was about 15 or 20. I think my last trip up there was just after New Year's, and I think it was about 20 or 25. And I know it'll pick up a little bit more as we move into the exploration season. But yeah, it's getting better.
Well, that's encouraging. Rob, since you've been in a few days, you've been in the legislature. Understand you're chairman of the Senate Transportation Committee.
I am.
What other committees are you on?
Well, they've also got me on the Community and Regional Affairs Committee, which generally tends to be pretty slow. Here, I guess there's a couple of bills headed that way here soon. But then I'm also on the Judiciary Committee, which with all the different things that we're talking about this year, constitutional amendments, talking about election reform, things of that nature. I'd say it's going to be a pretty hopping committee there on Judiciary. That'll keep me pretty busy.
Oh, that's right. You'll have things like the constitutional amendment of the permanent fund dividend and all those sort of issues will be right in your lap. What is the, it strikes me that you're in a little bit of a different situation with, you have a family and with young children in North Pole still, or are they down in Juneau?
No, I left my family at home. My kids are pretty small. I got 3 girls at home. They're 8, 7, and 1. And, with them, with their school activities and things like that, my wife and we had a couple of long conversations before I got into this, but we decided that for the kids' sake, it would just be better if they stayed home and maintained the home while I come down here by myself and, a little bit of a semi-bachelor existence while I'm here. But yeah, it's definitely difficult being this far away from home for such a long period of time. I think it's a little bit different for myself compared to a lot of the other legislators here. Tend to be in a little different stage of life. Either they're a lot of guys are older, a little, retired or close to it, or, there's a few guys who are a little younger, but their kids are a lot older, maybe in high school or something. And so that gives them a little bit more flexibility. For myself, with the young kids at home, it makes it a little bit harder. My wife wants to come down here soon, but I think we're going to leave the kids at home. Because it'd just be a little too much chaos down here.
Well, it's a real sacrifice. A lot of people don't realize what you give up in your career, and I mean, not just lost income, but the family life and everything. It's a story that many legislators have had to deal with. Well, Rob, we're just about out of time. I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us, and hopefully we can continue the conversation sometime soon.
You bet, Tim. Be good to talk to you again. We'll be here for some time now.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You bet.